Are you looking for the best cheap phones? In this video we will look at some of the 4 best phones on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Google Pixel 7a. Google's Pixel 7a, August 10th, Wired recommends, has a little bit of everything, and it's the best phone you can buy for the money. It's powered by the Tensor G2, which is the same chip inside the flagship Google Pixel 7 Pro from 2022. That makes it one of the more powerful Android phones under $500, at least in the US, but it also enables the smart software features found on the Google flagships. That includes Photo on Blur, which uses machine learning to sharpen the faces of people in your photos, and Assistant Voice Typing, which lets you ditch the keyboard for a speedier and more accurate voice typing mode that's better than anything that came before. These software smarts are why we like Pixel phones so much. They're chock full of genuinely useful features that make everyday life a little easier. I use Now Playing all the time. It auto-detects the music playing in my surroundings so I don't have to search for it. Call screen is another lifesaver because I rarely get spam calls when using a Pixel. Another perk? You'll get 5 years of security updates, so this phone is supported and secure for a good while. Unfortunately, Google only promises 3 Android OS upgrades, which is less than Samsung offers for its devices. Hate large phones? This is the handset for you. The 6.1-inch OLED display isn't the tiniest around, but it's still pretty compact. The front is protected by Gorilla Glass 3, so you'll want to install a screen protector, as it's not as scratch-resistant as the glass on pricier phones. The rear is made of plastic, so you have one less area to worry about if you drop it. It doesn't feel cheap. The screen gets decently bright in direct sunlight, and Google has added a 90Hz screen refresh rate, meaning interactions look and feel more fluid than on the Pixel 6a that came before. Another new addition to the A series lineup is wireless charging, so you can top up the battery without plugging in a cable. There's also NFC for contactless payments and an IP67 rating that protects it from the elements. We can't talk about a Pixel without talking about the camera, and that's where the Pixel 7a shines. Google has upgraded all the sensors on the A series, so you now get a 64-megapixel primary sensor that produces sharp photos in nearly any lighting condition, along with a 13-megapixel ultra-wide to bring some versatility. The selfie camera is solid, though the results aren't the sharpest. This is easily the best camera phone you'll find for less than $500. Downsides? There's no charging brick in the box and no headphone jack, and you're stuck with the 128 GB of internal storage, as there's no way to expand it. The battery is also a so-so. With heavy use, you'll probably need to recharge it before the day's end, but it can usually manage a full day. Lastly, there's the in-display fingerprint sensor. It's fine, just slow, and at times a little unreliable. If you can live with those negatives, you'll be more than satisfied with this phone. At number 2. OnePlus 12R. The Pixel 7a is the more well-rounded mid-range smartphone, but there are several reasons why you might prefer the OnePlus 12R. It sports a larger 6.78-inch AMOLED screen with a 120Hz screen resolution, meaning interactions with the display look and feel more fluid. This is also powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset, which is the flagship processor of 2023. It'll crush any demanding game with ease. The software isn't as smart as what you'll find on the Pixel, but it looks slick without much bloatware, and the company is promising 3 Android OS upgrades with 4 years of security updates. That's close to what Google offers. It does trounce the Pixel on battery life thanks to its 5,500 mAh cell capacity, which I was able to rely on for almost 2 full days on a single charge. If it's running out of juice, you can use the included cable and charging adapter to bring it from 0 to 100% in just 30 minutes. It's a shame there's no wireless charging support. The 12R cuts corners in a few areas. It's rated for only IP64 water resistance, so it'll be okay in the rain but not if you drop it in the pool. The primary camera is solid and goes toe-to-toe with the Pixel 7a's camera. However, I found the ultra-wide and macro cameras useless. It'd be better if OnePlus cut those and dropped the price of the phone instead. If you're not a shutterbug and just want a phone with a powerful processor and a battery that lasts more than a day, the OnePlus 12R is a no-brainer. At number 3. Google Pixel 6a. Google's Pixel 6a, August 10th, Wired recommends, debuted in 2022, but it's still a great buy, especially since the official retail price has dropped to $349. It usually sells for $299 at Amazon. Powered by the first Tensor processor, found in the Pixel 6, you'll have no trouble running any app or game you throw at it, and you'll still be able to enjoy many of the smart features that make Google phones our favorite phones, including Magic Eraser, which can delete unwanted objects in the background of your photos. There's a 6.1-inch AMOLED screen so you can enjoy richer colors and deeper blacks, and it's a nice compact size. The 4,410 mAh battery can last roughly a full day, but not much more, and it maintains an IP67 water resistance rating to keep it safe from the elements. There isn't any wireless charging here, and the screen is stuck to 60 Hz. The dual camera system is similar to what we've seen since the Pixel 3. It might feel dated, but the main camera and ultrawide still capture better photos than its peers. Put the phone on a tripod and point it at the sky and you can turn into a burgeoning astrophotographer too. It'll get one more Android update, Android 15, but will receive security updates through July 2027. That means it'll still be supported for a longer period than most of its competition. At number 4. Motorola Moto GPL. This might be a controversial choice because there are some glaring flaws with Motorola's Moto GPL 2024. First of all, this phone will just get one OS upgrade, Android 14, and then 3 years of bi-monthly security updates. It doesn't support 5G networks, just 4G LTE, and it doesn't have a near-field communication (NFC) sensor to make contactless payments. However, it's just $150. My previous recommendation, Samsung's Galaxy A14 5G, is no longer available. That excellent handset has been replaced by the $200 Galaxy A15 5G, which sadly performs worse and is tougher to recommend. Meanwhile, I didn't have many performance issues with the Moto GPL 2024. It's powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 680 chipset. Yes, apps open a bit slowly, and switching between them induces a few stutters, but it wasn't frustrating like the Galaxy A15. The 6.5-inch LCD screen gets bright enough to see on sunny days, though there can be quite a glare, and it feels somewhat responsive thanks to the 90 Hz screen refresh rate. The 5,000 mAh battery easily went into day 2 on a single charge with average use. Oh, and there's a headphone jack and a side-mounted fingerprint sensor. All to say, I spent 2 weeks using this phone and had a perfectly adequate experience. Load speeds when browsing on 4G LTE were a little slower but not drastically so, and I made calls and texts on AT&T's network just fine. My gripe is I couldn't use it to make tap-to-pay payments anywhere. Also, the camera is not great, whether you're snapping a photo during the day or at night, and the phone is just water repellent, so you probably should keep it in your pocket if it's raining. Still, if you just need a handset to access your favorite apps without spending a fortune and getting frustrated by lag spikes, this Moto GPL does the job.